disregard the obvious.
Peace, and welcome back to The Nest, home of UTM Media, and of course, home of the Kidnappers Rule soundtrack. I am your host, Gunnar G's, and this is How Can I Explain Myself? And this episode is called Is that true? Yes, is that true? This is where I just pull up some information, we watch it together, and you tell me, is that true?
There have been allegations about Tulsi Gabbard being a Russian agent forever, that it's really not even disputed. So the fact that she is the director of national intelligence is chilling. And then this report came out yesterday, and I know exactly where my mind went. The Daily Beast reports Trump's spy chief has locked up a potentially explosive whistleblower complaint against her as she battles with lawyers about sharing it with Congress, which I did not know. She is required to share these with Congress. So where did your mind go the minute you saw that?
A whistleblower reported that she is mining information or doing Russian type things, that this is direct link to the Russian government. Yeah. And interestingly here with this case, the inspector general that the whistleblower report was given to was fired. And so this is corruption and espionage and I think probably treason at the highest levels. There's a reason that Donald Trump, when he went to get the ballots, he personally called Tulsi and said, you go to Georgia and you oversee this. So in my opinion, this is just my opinion, and I don't know why everybody's so shy to talk about this. Putin compromised Tulsi Gabbard a long time ago. She is the babysitter in the Trump regime for the Russian government to make sure everybody does all of the things that Vladimir Putin wants the United States of America to do. This is as serious as it gets. I haven't heard Chuck Schumer or Hakeem Jeffries say anything about this yet. That doesn't mean that they haven't, the flood the zone news cycle. But again, my frustration with being an American right now is there are all of these, not just red flags, like the flag is completely on fire with a nuclear bomb attached to it, flashing. And what are the Democrats doing? And I realize that we are not the party in power, but I do acknowledge that they have microphones. Mm-hmm. And if you remember, now listen, I can't stand Andrew Cuomo. I think he's a piece of shit. But when COVID was going on during Trump 1.0, and Trump was like, yeah, you got to inject bleach or you can put lights up in the body. And he's acting like a complete nut, right? I mean, it's a day in Trump's America. Cuomo brilliantly had these evening briefings. And I remember as a citizen in Oklahoma, I would sit and watch it because I was dying for leadership. I was dying for somebody to walk me through what was going on. We were terrified. It was this horrible pandemic, et cetera. Why, Chuck Schumer or Hakeem Jeffries don't have this kind of evening chat with the American people like what Cuomo did? I thought it was very effective. You had people all over the country watching it. And I think I know why. I think I know why they don't do this, because they're compromised by the same PACs that want Donald Trump to stay in control, and they are controlled opposition. And so it is my wish that there would be a coup within the House of Representatives and the Senate, and they would vote to strip both Schumer and Jeffries of their leadership positions. Listen, this is what the Republicans did. Yeah. They got little Moses Mike Grinder Johnson in there. And let me tell you what, he does Donald Trump's work for him. The only chance we have, because we have no institutional support, zero institutional support as Americans that oppose this regime. The only way that we can get institutional support right now would be for Chuckles and Hakeem to be ousted from their chairs, and we get real fighters. I mean, Chris Van Hollen, Elizabeth Warren, Chris Murphy, somebody in the Senate that's really going to hammer. And then on the House side, we get Ro Khanna, somebody who was going to fight, step up to the microphone all day, every day, and start playing offense. Instead, we're playing defense back here, twiddling our thumbs when Tulsi Gabbard is fighting, which we all know this is not good. If she's fighting this hard, this is full-blown, straight-up treason with 1 degree, 0 degree separation from Russia, my opinion.
No, I completely agree. That was my first thought. This is some kind of Russia deal. We have more proof. And then just pop this up, Kylie. We see that the reason they're saying they can't turn it over, and I thought this was super important, it's locked in a safe. Disclosure of its contents could cause grave damage to national security. Here's the deal. Is there any more damage you can do to national security than having a Russian agent as the director of national intelligence? Like, color me stupid, but that seems to me to be the gravest danger. And I'm like you, where are the leaders coming out against this? Even the super rah, Republican strong defense, national defense people, like, this is fucking serious. We have an alleged Russian agent with shit in her safe that she can't turn over to Congress. And it's been going on for months because of grave threats to national security. And I feel like we're just kind of just now hearing about this. And that troubles me so very greatly because I'm with you. Like, Ro Khanna, he's got his face out there. Robert Garcia has his face out there. I bet more Americans could recognize Ro Khanna than Hakeem Jeffries. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
I know. This is kind of long and deep. She also said that. But trust me, you're going to want to see where this is going.
I would just add to this that there is always, with everything that the Trump regime has done, it isn't just happening all of a sudden. With it, as it relates to Russia, I always remember this clandestine recording that happened with Paul Ryan, Kevin McCarthy, and I can't remember who the other player was, where they said, Donald Trump is definitely on Putin's payroll. This stays between us, right? This stays. And then there was a California congressman, I believe it's like Rauschenberger was his name. He's definitely on Putin's payroll. And I don't think this guy's in office anymore. And then they spoke about another senator and they were having what they thought was a private conversation. So when you look at what's happening with ICE, is this new to America? No, it's just new to white Americans. Right. We actively ignored the issues with over policing and lawlessness and murders by police forces in Black communities. We ignored it as a country because it wasn't happening to white people. And now we ignore, in the past, we've ignored all of these whispers about Russia. So this is where I get frustrated with the Democratic Party. Why? If Hillary Clinton was screaming this in 2016, Tulsi Gabbard is a Russian agent, Donald Trump is compromised by Putin, Donald Trump will be Putin's puppet. She was clear-eyed. She was Secretary of State. She got major, massive security clearance. She knows a lot more shit than any of us do. She was screaming it from the rooftops. Biden gets in power, appoints Merrick Garland. None of this shit's investigated. Congress doesn't dive into this. What about that recording? Why didn't we haul Kevin McCarthy? Who told you these people are paid by Russia? And so that's my frustration with everything that's happening right now in the Trump regime. None of it is surprise. We're all fascists. Right. There are breadcrumbs. Even the bombing of the boats in Venezuela, there are breadcrumbs to our military doing immoral and illegal things, even under Democratic presidents. And so that's my frustration with a lot of this. And that's why I think our plan moving forward, listener, is we have to elect fighters, beat Republicans, but we also have to have a comprehensive plan that puts in guardrails and rectifies these weaknesses that our republic has. Because Tulsi Gabbard, clearly this is some really bad shit locked up in a safe. And that I would say the biggest national security problem we have isn't her, it's Donald Trump.
Right.
I mean, this guy is like, hey, you want our AI chips? Yeah, I'll sell them for you. Give my family $500 million. Well, who do you think who paid for all that scientific innovation? The American taxpayer. Who's profiting from it? Donald Trump and Dumb and Dumber, his sons. Mm-hmm. Why aren't the Democrats screaming that all day, every day? And I will concede that there's so much corruption that it's difficult to have a daily nonstop resistance to it. But I do think if you look at what, and again, Cuomo, total piece of shit, don't like him, totally effective, what he did during COVID. Every single night he had press conferences. They're going to have to do something other than going to an AIPAC luncheon and talking about how, as a United States Senator chuckles, number one goal is to make sure we keep giving our money to Israel to kill little kids.
You know, when I think about this and I look at the last 13 months, I just have no confidence that we have leaders to do that. Certainly not. I mean, we have some, but where I know you've screamed this, but when you just look over the course of all the things that have been allowed to go on in this administration, starting with Doge, Tulsi Gabbard, just down the list, you know, Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, Pam Bondi, he wanted to appoint Matt Gaetz. Nobody has stopped it. Nobody has even tried to stop it. So moving forward, looking what's happened over the last 12 months, I look into the next 24 months. I'm sorry, to the next 12 for the full 24 months. And I am terrified of what's going on right now. And I try not to get bogged down in it, but it is scary to think the elections, Russia, all of this corruption, it goes to we no longer have the power. So that's why I'm so thankful for your message about we the people have the power. Movements are the people, because I get really bogged down in looking at what has been done and what's going to be. Okay, moving on. Now we know Elon Musk paid $300 million to the Trump campaign to stop investigations into himself. And he's done it. He's absolutely done it. Stolen all our data, committed all kinds of crimes, in my opinion. But this happened today in France, and I, for one, am delighted. French offices of Elon Musk's X platform raided by Paris cybercrime unit. Here's the deal. Both ex-chairman Musk and former chief executive Linda Yaccarino have been summoned to appear at hearings in April, while ex-employees will be questioned as witnesses, according to the Paris prosecutor. Paris prosecutor said the investigation was broadened to include Gronk's sexualized deepfakes. So this tells me, yeah, they're investigating Gronk and the AI sexualizing all that. He's doing the same kind of corrupted shit in the EU that he is in the United States. Unfortunately for Elon Musk, he hasn't been able to buy the government of France like he has the United States government. So we'll see what happens with that. What do you think about that?
The interesting thing about what's happening in France is when you look at the Epstein files, Peter Thiel and Jeffrey Epstein have conversations about how Russia is funding Marie Le Pen. And Marie Le Pen is the far right Russian puppet of France. And she has tried and tried to win, and she hasn't won yet. And hopefully she never does. And in the United States, Putin's far right puppet, of course, as everybody knows, is Donald Trump. And so you have all of these things, believe it or not, are all linked to the Epstein files. So number one, Epstein files, child pedophilia, child photographs of sex crimes. This is not kiddie porn. These are criminal evidence of a crime. Whenever you see images of children being raped or sexually abused, those are crime scene photos. Well, that's what the Epstein files are all about, on the one hand. On the other hand, beneath that, those horrible crimes against children, is an elite network of men that are trying to change the world order with really bad players involved in it. Putin, Ehud Barak, the former prime minister of Israel, really decisive language in there from credible sources that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell are Mossad agents that are getting compromising information on people.
You there? You still there? You still there? Okay. Man, can you imagine if any of this stuff is true? What do you think? What do y'all think? Anybody think any of this stuff is true? Drop a comment. Let's rap about it. I got one more piece to this puzzle. Check it out.
So it makes a lot of sense that Elon Musk has a blind spot to all of this. Number one, his own father was accused of sexual abuse by his stepchildren and biological children. Number one. Number two, Elon Musk, despite saying, oh, I didn't have anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein, he's begging in these files. I mean, pathetically begging. When's the big wild party, guy? And then all of these tech oligarchs, Peter Thiel, are connected to all of this. And the fact that when you think about France and you think about what they're doing right now, that makes you understand exactly why Elon Musk started. He's trying to provoke change in Europe, which Peter Thiel and Jeffrey Epstein celebrated Brexit, which has been a disaster for the UK, an absolute disaster. But these forces that fight wars via propaganda, psychological warfare, that is what Putin has invested in. He has rich American oligarchs that are helping him do this. And it's, of course, for Elon Musk, who clearly is a complete weirdo. He's not going to do anything about Grok and it producing child sex crime photos. He's not going to do anything about that. What he would rather do, instead of having the moral position, is he would rather fund Marie Le Pen because he doesn't want accountability. And the whole thing we have to remember about this movement is the driving force behind it is how do we avoid accountability? The American public has told Trump, here's exactly how you avoid accountability. The Supreme Court has told Trump, here's exactly how you avoid accountability. Accountability will give you immunity. And so this is all of this, I feel like, is coming to, a blister, a boiling point. The European Union is very aware that the forces that have taken down America have their sights set on them. J.D. Vance's language regarding the European Union is unbelievable. Ukraine right now is suffering immensely with Russian attacks, and their ally, the United States of America, that promised after they gave up their nuclear weapons that we would provide for their national security. And we aren't doing that. Why? Because we know in Epstein files that Trump is compromised and blackmailed by Putin. And even in the files, Epstein is advising them on how to blackmail him. It's as clear as day. And so, of course, Musk is in this. I say good on France. Raid the shit out of him. And I hope the EU fights these nefarious American immigrants like Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, because the immigrants I want here are all of the ones that are in detention centers. I want all of those kids released. I want all of those family people released. These are good, hardworking people. The immigrants I want in detention centers are Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, period.
Thank you for watching this episode of Is That True? But before I go, I want to give a huge shout out to Jennifer Welch and Angie Sullivan. They have a great podcast called Ive Had It, the Ive Had It Podcast. And that's where I got this great information from. Make sure you go over and check out all their stuff. They have a great YouTube page. They also have a book out now called Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches. So if you're into reading and you like to get your book on, I suggest you go over and get your book on. Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches. Jennifer Welch and Angie Sullivan. Peace. I am your host, Gunner G's. Join me for the next episode If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Feel free to comment and share. Don't forget to go over and watch the How Can I Explain Myself podcast on the Vision and Verses YouTube page. Follow our YouTube page. Follow us on all social media. Follow UTM Media. Follow UTM Radio. Follow me, Gunner G's. We'll follow you back. Until next time, peace.
We are so happy to be part of something that we will totally disregard the obvious.
Imagine a kid.